online and everything. Inshallah. You have a question?
No.
Yes, go ahead.
Where does the last three qiraat?
He said, where does the last three qira'at come from? This is because the concept is that there are 7 qira'at and the other 3 are last 3. Well, this thing is that there was never 7 qira'at. There were 25 qira'at. Okay? And the Ummah, the scholars at that time said, we can't follow up on all these qira'at. It's too many riwayat, too many narrations. So let us look at them and only keep the ones that are unanimously agreed upon. Okay? So they went through them, and for some reason, this one shaykh, his name was Ibn Mujahid, he said, let's make it 7. So since he was the one that was sponsored by the government to do the survey, he tried to make it 7. But when he made it 7 qira'at, the other scholars of qira'ah objected. They said, what's wrong with you? You're going to try to make it 7. The people are going to think that the 7 huruf that are mentioned in the Prophet, they're going to think it's the 7 qira'at. And he said, and he said, nobody's going to think that but a fool. Only a fool would think that. But nowadays, people think that the 7 qira'at are the 7 huruf. Not that they're fools, but because of time. After all that time, people, stopped learning and didn't realize that only the specialists remembered. You understand? So since he made the 7, the scholars objected. The scholars of Quran objected. And they said, what are you going to do with Abu Ja'far, who's number 8, mind you? Okay? How are you going to live with Xing out Abu Ja'far from the qira'at? Now, who is Abu Ja'far? Abu Ja'far is just the first person to teach Quran besides a Sahabi. Okay? Now, Abu Ja'far, he was leading the Salah and Sahaba were there. Okay? When they said the word Qari after Abdullah bin Mas'ud died, if they said the word Qari, they meant Abu Ja'far. That's who they meant. And so he led the Salah for like 70 years in Medina. And he was the Qari of Medina. Now some people say, what about Nafi? Warsha Nafi? I thought Nafi was the Qari of Medina. He was. He was the student of Abu Ja'far, that is. And when Abu Ja'far died, Nafi took over the place. So you see that, he became famous after the death of his teacher. Okay? And people only remember the latest guy. They don't remember the pioneer. So Abu Ja'far led the Salah with Abdullah bin Umar in the Salah. And so the Sahaba, there was a time when no one dared teach the Quran except the Sahaba. How could you? Who were you to start teaching Quran and they're the companions of the Messenger of Allah living around you? But the companion said, Abu Ja'far, you go in. Ibn Umar said, you go, push them forward, you go forward. You get the point? So the scholar was like, there's no way we can drop Abu Ja'far. So they added him on there. Okay? Then they said, what are you going to do with Yaqub then? If you put Abu Ja'far, what are you going to do with Yaqub? Al-Hadrami, the Yemeni. He was considered the most knowledgeable person in qira'at. Okay? They said, subhanAllah, pardon me. So it became 9. And they said, now, if we're going to be fair, we have to put Khalaf. Khalaf is the student of Hamza. And he has his own qira'ah also. He combined the qira'at. He was the only one that learned all the qira'ah of Kufa. Now Kufa, you have 4 scholars from Kufa there in the 10. Okay? You have Hafs, you have Al-Kisai, you have Hamza, and you have Khalaf al-Ashir. He's called Khalaf al-Ashir. Khalaf the 10th. Okay? And they stopped there. Because these 10 were unanimously agreed upon their qira'ah and accepted by the scholars and the people at that time. Now we have other qira'at. We call them shadh. irregular. We don't accept them to be called Quran. And we don't recite them. We study them. We study them. You know why we study them? Because we find the Crusaders, those so-called Orientalists, they always want to quote the qira3aat and try to bring meaning from it and try to twist people around. So we study them to say, that's not part of the Quran. That's the Ibn Muhsin's qira'ah. That's Hassan al-Basri's qira'ah. We don't accept that as qira'ah. To straighten out and keep the ummah safe. Because we're like soldiers, or Marines in this case, you know, who walk and look at the fence, and anything out of line, we correct it. Okay? So there are actually 14 qira'ah that we see. 4 of them are not accepted to be qira'ah. 10 of them are qira'ah from the Quran. Okay? From the way the Prophet ﷺ allowed and taught his companions to recite. Does that answer your question?
No.
Hey.